day. So what are we looking at? Okay, this slide actually is a word cloud. If you've never heard of word cloud, it basically represents our newsletter, which goes out to our members and supporters. I grabbed a year's worth of those newsletters and fed them into this word cloud, and voila, this is what showed up. And what it represents is the larger the type, you know, obviously the more instances of that word. So as we can just peruse this, we see that there's a lot of local area, Alachua, Gainesville, you know, we've got I'm seeing energy. What else? Anybody? Any words there? Shout them out.
Springs.
Right.
Protect.
Right. Protect.
Water.
Anyone else? Water. Yeah. Plastic. Marijuana.
Property.
Right. So this absolutely, I mean, it encapsulates some of what we did in the year. And I just wanted to make you back to what is our mission, because Sierra Club is a program that encompasses so much and you will see how this mission statement is actually brought to life with the activities that we carry out. To explore, enjoy, and protect the wild places of the earth, to practice and promote the responsible use of Earth's ecosystems and resources, to educate and enlist humanity, to protect and restore the quality of the natural and human environment, and to use all lawful means to carry out these objectives. Sometimes lawful can be stretched, can it? As we witnessed in our our US Capitol. All right. To explore, enjoy, and protect the wild places of the earth. So where was this involved? Okay, well, as we already know, there are outings, which is a central part to our work. We had in February of last year a joint outing with Northeast Sierra Club group. That was at the Mike Ross Goldhead branch. And then on the 26th, we also did a hike, and that's what this picture is of, the Santa Fe Preserve, which was led by Erica Hernandez, who's the conservation director with ACT. Then we also had in April, a hike led by Bob Knight. We get some really good folks. Yeah, I'm telling you, Bob Knight at Sweetwater Park in Gainesville, giving the talk on just how important that Sweetwater property is.
Hey, Sarah, can you move the slides?
Of the Sweetwater branch. And then that was in April. And then in June, now it's not responding to we went with our general meeting to the Ashton Biological Preserve, where we were absolutely enthralled with all the gopher tortoises and all the other wildlife that they have available for wildlife rehab there. And then we went to a wildflower hike at the Morningside. This is the same location that we'll be doing it again. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. And that was led by Professor Paul Irene, right? All right. So that's certainly a way to explore and enjoy. And in total, we had 50 participants through those experiences. Then we move on to how we protect. Well, if you aren't familiar by now, the No Roads to Ruin campaign was a coalition of groups, but certainly led the charge was Sierra Club Florida. And we have done all we can as a group to support that as well. This was to pressure to end the destructive toll roads, which they put on pause, but unfortunately is beginning to rear its ugly head again. So watch for more on that one, because we're going to all need to stay informed. And obviously, we don't take credit for wild spaces in public places, but we did endorse this in the last election season. And obviously, we look forward to that, protecting more and more of the wild space, as well as offering now funds towards affordable housing, which is a very critical component for the communities here. Yeah.
Can I say something about it? when we were struggling with the M-Course, I got up and
Mhm.
asked, like, say anything, but it's public, done, public film. And I talked about the Sandowski Fund, which is the affordable housing fund. And just like our conservation fund, it used to be 30% of the dock stands every year. And they very seldom, but then the legislature every year has to vote on how much, what percentage of it is used. Well, they used to maybe fund 50% of it, if you're lucky. So then a couple of sessions ago, they cut it, slashed it over half. And now they can brag that they're supporting 100% of funding of Sandowski Fund because it's been reduced by over.
Oh my gosh. So they're playing tricks with the money.
Our state.
Yes, yes. And this is the kind of information that we get from people who are attentive to that through our group. So I appreciate that, Harriet. And, we welcome opportunities like that to inform our members and our supporters through the newsletter. So if you come across information that you feel you want to get out there, feel free to contact me because we are looking for content like that. Then we also had a very important campaign to end the phosphate mining in Bradford County. Recently, the reports are that this is now dead. That phosphate mining, at least with HPS2, the families that had joined together that had property in Union and Bradford, as you already probably know, some of us were working together with residents in Union County who successfully was able to get them to stave that off by changing their regulations and not allowing mining on wetlands, because this is a mine that was proposed right on New River, which is a tributary that feeds into our Santa Fe River, very important waterway. And while Union County all rose up and said no, the county commission in Bradford was less apt to do so. They've changed hands now. Now they have a new city manager, a new lawyer. Everything about the county is now starting to look more professional because it was like an old boys network before. And so they are, the new county manager is actually getting answers, whereas they were getting a lot of outright lies really from the previous one about where things were. So we're very happy to see that we have allies there. We also, the Citizens Against Phosphate Mining, along with the Bradford Environmental Forum, are working closely with us on that. Well, and then we had to practice and promote the responsible use of the Earth's ecosystems and resources. Now, this was a very exciting opportunity for us because for the first time we brought together all various organizations and people working on environmental justice and energy. And we brought them together for Energize Alachua, which was a way to bring our community together to learn how to save money as well as save energy. And through various efficiencies, they could learn how to create more weatherproofing in their homes, LED light bulbs, opportunities to test drive Teslas and learn about electric car vehicles, and with hands-on demonstrations as well. It also featured Karen Soares, who was from out of town. She's an important member of the HBCU community. She's working on a clean energy initiative project, which is actually going in and financing pilot programs for energy, renewable energy in homes that are in disadvantaged neighborhoods. Yeah, she's the director. And then we had our own representative, Yvonne Hinson, who spoke to us about the Energy Equity Task Force, which is a bill we'll be watching for this session, as she has spearheaded that campaign at the state level. This is a task force that would basically be going out to learn more about why there's so many energy inequities in our state, because Florida does rank very low in terms of energy equity. our state really is poor on that. And it actually was a full house because we had 88 participants at the beautiful Santa Fe College right here, Blount Center. So that was a success, and I want to send a real warm thank you to Jyoti, who is our event organizer. I've done it without you, dear. Not have done it without you. It was mutual love best here. Then we also offer education and enlisting humanity to protect and restore the quality of the human and natural environment. So just like tonight, where we're learning about new things, we've been doing these online, no Zoom bombs, I promise you, in the old ones. I guess somebody's learned about our meetings in ways that we weren't aware of. But we've done them throughout the year, from good energy versus bad energy, where we brought leaders from around the state. Solar United Neighbors was there, as well as Luigi speaking about the energy policies. This was last February. Then we had our own Mary Vaughn, who presented on how we can break free from plastic. This was another very important meeting that spoke directly to our campaigns with the publics to stop use of single-use plastics bags. And that's still ongoing, of course. Janet Stenko?
Publics has not never accepted to meet with her and our committee. So I don't know exactly where that will go, but if you think of it, publics even being asked years when a lot of countries have done that. We are asking that, and you can go online and sign the
Yeah, it's available from our website.
yes.
And then we went on to last year, we also had Nancy Darren and Barry Jacobson from GRU's UAB speak to us about the biomass plant. There's a lot of questions about whether or not this really serves as a bridge to renewable energy. I mean, it's cited as renewable, but it's not clean renewable, which is what we really want. We want clean renewable, not just renewable. So that was an important thing, though. They did share with us some good information, because I know biomass gets a bad word. It's actually a mixed response, because there are ways to do it right and ways to do it wrong. And there's a lot of measures in the place in the biomass plant here that keep them from getting like the pellets and the things that we don't want to see them using in those sites. So we are fortunate that there are good people that are at least watching for that, but we have to stay vigilant, especially as GRU is still expanding their natural gas programs, which is something that we don't need more of. And then we also had some Kelly Brew from the Food Hub speak to us about that experience. And I know we've got John Brainerd here with the community garden, but Food Hub is another wonderful opportunity to learn about how to grow food. And they supply many of the fresh foods to our county schools. This is an important opportunity for even adult members of our community, because they work with the disabled community as well, to offer positions for people to learn trades within the food growing and food preparation, because they have part of that packaging to go to the schools. They hire people there. And then we also had our comprehensive plan for dummies. This was a presentation Mary Vaughn had graciously offered. We had a conversation as well. It was a working meeting discussing the threats, the very real threats in our area to wild spaces such as the Lee property, Hickory Sink, and Weyerhaeuser's project in the north of Gainesville. More on this later, but obviously educating and enlisting is something that we've been taking very seriously here at Sierra Club. And then we also had, and don't forget, this was an election year, we had our political committee reactivated, and oh my, reactivated was truly the word, because they took on the primaries, they took on the general election. These are just some of the faces, and they also looked at referendums such as the single member districts. All in all, they came up with 15 to 25 questions for 11 different races, interviews with 22 candidates, each of those taking up to 50 minutes, and had 12 volunteers. Thank you, thank you, thank you, who successfully undertook this process. Of this, 9 local and county endorsements in the primary, 6 of them were won or moved on to general election. And in the general, 4 of those 5 local elections were won by our respective candidates. So that's really great news. Thank you to our political chair for his service. And then I can't leave out another important education prospect that Mary Vaughn alluded to, the ICO program. And she had worked with the others, member groups that we have at the Arts Coalition. And they came up with a wonderful outing back in May that went to Jacksonville, the Kingsley Plantation, and learned about the history of that property, which was a working plantation back in the day, right? Very educational. And then they took a trip to the beach. For many of them, they hadn't been to the ocean, some of these students.
I can't hear Mary Vaughn or whoever's
You
speaking.
got to speak up, Mary Vaughn. Why don't you get closer?
American beach. We ended up not going there, going to another beach. Find when I prepared for this, I couldn't find the name of the park, but it's very close also to the American beach. And that beach was created, I don't know exactly when, by a wealthy Black person who decided to have a beach for Black Americans, because they were not allowed to go to beaches where white people were going. So anyway.
Absolutely a wonderful outing, and it looks like they had a lot of fun in the waves. And
Yes, exactly.
mm-hmm.
The ICO program was created in the 70s by Sierra Club, if you're not aware of it, and major cities have such a program. When I came to from West Palm Beach or Boynton Beach, when I came to Gainesville in 2007, I was working in East Gainesville in Lake Forest Elementary School, and I asked the kids, have you ever been to Place Ferry? Because I loved moving here because I was close to Place Ferry that I could finally visit. And the kids said no, and I said, we have to tell. So that's when I decided, with the support, of course, of Suwannee-St. John Sierra, to create the ICO program. And every time you take kids need to be out in nature. They need it. We all need it, you know, and it's so important to keep the program. Yeah.
Yeah. And then on December 3rd, now I don't think you had this number right, because I know that there were more than 7 kids at that event. The Florida Coalition for Peace and Justice in Hampton. Wow.
Because was not incorporated as an ICO agency,
Oh,
I could not include it.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay. So it was an outing for a larger group, but I got you. Oh my God.
Yes.
So that was a crowd. Excellent. And they had what activity did they do?
So we did that. And then we came back in. The kids had some time, so they would play ping pong or just be outside. And we had lunch. And after lunch, we had 3 setup. One with 3, well, I was one person, but 2 speakers. One was an expert on plants, and they did another. So the kids and some parents who were interested in that did a little hike towards yes, about medicinal plants. And we had James, who was an expert on snakes, and that was also very attended. Yeah, lots of people wanted to know more about snakes. And I was thinking a lot of people would want to come to my section, which was to set up a tent, and nobody came. But I set up my little tent, and then they came to be in the tent fashion. But hopefully we will set up another group of Hispanic families. That would be great. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for the follow-up. Well, and use of all lawful means that we carry it out in all forms of technology. So our newsletter, this is a bit of a drawing of how much our newsletter reaches folks. So we moved over to Marketing Cloud, which is the Sierra Club's emailing system, before we were on MailChimp. So I was able to do these numbers from the Marketing Cloud. So it's as of last March. Our email list began at a little over 25,000. It went all the way up to 35,000 and then dropped again. I've yet to figure out why it dropped that much. 3,500, I mean, 3,500. And, but this is every month, you know, we send a newsletter out. And if you're not getting the newsletter, I got to tell you, there is a place you can go to online with Sierra Club to determine what your email preferences are. I urge you to go there. I can share more with you online if you reach out to me about how to do so. Because I know many people think that they get too many emails. They say, I opt out of email. Well, in the long run, you're going to miss out on a lot of good information. So you might want to rethink that one because there's a lot of information coming. Yes. Okay, yeah, that orange line are all the emails that were delivered. In other words, that got to the boxes that people wanted. And then the bottom line is all the number of people who actually opened it. So we deliver a lot of emails, but the bottom number here is how many actually took time to open the email. So when you see SSJ Sierra Club on your subject line, just peek in. There may be something that really is relevant, and we cover everything from all the activities that we're doing to the news, to the political, to the calls to action. I mean, our calls to action included the workshop on Lee property, stopping urban sprawl against Gainesville, the GRU gas rebates, which we were urging people to get in touch with GRU about, opposing Duke Energy's Archer substation, because they want to expand that. You know, there's a lot of good information that doesn't come in your regular news stations that people are, especially now that the Gainesville Sun has stopped any local opinion. You know, this is, sometimes you got to go somewhere else for your news, right? Yeah. Where else can you go if you don't do newsletters? That's a good choice. I don't know. Oh, right, the website. And we also have our Facebook page. which right now only has 1,200 followers, guys. We need to boost that too. So send this out to all your friends. You're on Facebook. I was curious to see actually who are our followers, and you can see women outpace men 2-to-1. And, you know, mostly over 45. Oh, good. Thank you. And I'm getting to the end of that. I'm starting to. And all use of lawful means also means tabling. We do a lot of tabling, and the events that are coming up, some of these are going to be happening again this year. I know we've got Riverfest, the Folk Festival, Arts Festival, Downtown Festival we just had in November. I mean, these are fun events, actually. They're a lot of fun to go visit. And lastly, we also have those notable awards that came this year. And one, of course, is our own Mary Von Devensky was recognized nationally. And then we had our own awards ceremony at the holiday party where David Hastings was awarded the Black Bear Award. And Commissioner Anna Prizia was given the Turtle Award for her public service. Joanne Tremblay and Ray Moore were given the Dragonfly Awards for their service as well. And then for the holiday party we had this year, we actually raised $640. So this is our credits list. You know, at the end of a film, you always see the credits. Well, I gotta say, I'm very pleased with this group of leaders. I'm very pleased with you all on the executive committee. I think we've done a great job, guys, and, you know, reach around, pat your back. We can invite you all to participate because really it does take a village.